Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are completely flipping the script on how we look at language. We're going to explore exactly how grammar builds our daily sentences. You know, we so often think of grammar as just this list of dry, rigid rules you have to memorize for some test, but actually, it's way more exciting than that. It's a highly practical, incredibly efficient toolkit for human communication.
So let's dive right into this. Have you ever wondered how words actually come together to form the complex thoughts we share every single day? I want you to reframe how you see the English language right now. Think of it as the ultimate construction project. Every single word you use has a very specific job on the job site. Just like a house needs a foundation, walls, paint, and nails, a sentence needs specific types of words to stand up and actually make sense.
Here's the roadmap for our construction project today. We've got 1. The grammar blueprint. 2. Foundation, nouns and verbs. 3. Details, adjectives and adverbs. 4. Glue, prepositions and conjunctions. And 5. Efficiency, emotion, and specificity.
Section 1. The grammar blueprint.
Okay, before you can build anything properly, you absolutely must understand the raw materials you're working with. I mean, you wouldn't use glass to build a load-bearing wall, right? Well, in English grammar, our materials are called the parts of speech. There are 8 distinct categories of words here. Every single word you speak or write falls into one of these buckets, and is defined entirely by its specific purpose, job, and meaning within a sentence. These 8 categories dictate exactly how words function to create flawless daily communication.
To see why this matters, notice what happens when we don't have the right materials. Take the fragment "once upon a time." It's just hanging there. It feels like it's missing the actual building. But contrast that with a complete sentence. President Johnson disliked his portrait. This works perfectly because it has a subject actually doing an action. It's a complete thought. To avoid broken fragments, we really need our core building blocks.
Which brings us to Section 2, Foundation, Nouns and Verbs. You literally cannot build a sentence without these 2 essential materials. They are the concrete slab and the wooden framing of our grammar house. First up, we have nouns. Think of nouns as the physical bricks, the materials themselves. A noun names a person, a place, a thing, or even an idea. They tell the listener exactly who or what is acting or being acted upon. Words like Jacob, bungalow, courage, or Chicago, these are all nouns. They're the solid objects in our grammatical world.
But here's the thing. A pile of bricks doesn't really do anything on its own, does it? It needs energy. And that is exactly where verbs come in. Verbs express an action or a state of being. They are the action and the energy that bring our nouns to life. So, if Jacob is our noun, walks is our verb. It's the thing the noun is actually doing. This step-by-step breakdown brilliantly illustrates exactly how a sentence grows from the ground up. Check out step 1, noun plus verb. Jacob walks. It's a complete, structurally sound house, sure, but it's kind of plain. In step 2, we add some detail. Jacob walks quickly to the massive bungalow. Suddenly, we have a vivid picture in our heads. Finally, in step 3, we connect another whole idea. Wow, Jacob walks quickly to the massive bungalow, but he looks sad. Bam, we just built a really complex thought.
Section 3. Details, adjectives, and adverbs.
Now that our foundation of nouns and verbs is poured, how do we make our basic structure more interesting? More beautiful and accurate? We use adjectives. Adjectives are essentially the paint and the interior decor of our house. Their entire job is to describe or limit a noun or a pronoun. They answer questions for the reader like what kind or how many. So instead of just a standard bungalow, we now have a massive bungalow. Instead of just a sky, we have a blue sky. They add incredible flavor to those raw materials.
Now, if adjectives are the paint, adverbs are the landscaping. Adverbs provide essential details, but instead of modifying nouns, they modify verbs, adjectives, or even other adverbs. They're the words answering the how, when, where, and to what degree. If our verb is walks, the adverb tells us how Jacob walks. Well, he walks quickly. They give much-needed context to the energy in our sentence.
Section 4, glue, prepositions and conjunctions.
So we've got our materials and we have our details, but we need structural adhesives to actually link the different rooms of our house together smoothly. Prepositions act a lot like the nails in our framework. They show relationships of space, time, direction, or location between a noun and another word in the sentence. Think of little words like under, at, in, on, or to. Jacob isn't just walking, he is walking to the bungalow. The dog isn't just existing, it's under the table. They ground our objects in time and space.
Conjunctions, on the other hand, are the heavy-duty glue. They link other words, phrases, or whole independent clauses together. For coordinating conjunctions, which are the ones that connect equal parts of a sentence, there is a truly fantastic memory trick from our sources, the fanboys acronym. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. I like apples and oranges, but I don't like grapes. They just join ideas so logically and beautifully.
Section 5. Efficiency, emotion, and specificity. The finishing touches.
We need specialized tools to streamline our sentences, clarify exactly what we mean, and honestly, to inject some human emotion into our writing. Just imagine how totally maddening language would be without tools for efficiency. I mean, read this quote. The Earl of Sandwich introduced the Earl of Sandwich's favorite food, the sandwich. It is structurally correct, sure, it has nouns and verbs, but it sounds incredibly clunky and robotic, doesn't it? The repetition is just exhausting.
But look at how easily we fix it. We bring in pronouns, which are our absolute efficiency experts. A pronoun simply replaces a noun that has already been mentioned, so we don't have to keep repeating it. By replacing the Earl of Sandwiches with the pronoun his, the sentence becomes clean, crisp, and concise. The Earl of Sandwich introduced his favorite food. Pronouns like I, you, he, she, they, and it, they save us so much time.
Next up, we have interjections. These are the sudden bursts of emotion that give our language a heartbeat. Words like wow, ouch, alas, or oops. They're short exclamations that aren't strictly necessary for the grammatical structure to stand up, but they inject instant personality and feeling into our sentences. They're kind of like hanging a beautiful, striking piece of art in your newly built house.
And finally, we have articles and determiners. These are the ultimate specifiers. They're technically a special type of adjective, but their job is so important they often get their very own category. Words like an, the, or these. They help clarify exactly which noun we are talking about. It's the literal difference between saying I want a dog and I want the dog. One little word completely shifts the specificity of the whole sentence. This cheat sheet right here brilliantly illustrates everything coming together. This table represents a completed house where all the parts unite for flawless communication. You have your materials, your energy, your paint, your landscaping, your efficiency tools, your glue, and your emotion. Literally every word you speak today is going to fall onto this board. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Grammar is not your enemy. It's actually your personal construction crew. These categories and rules are just tools to ensure the complex, fascinating thoughts in your head are understood perfectly by everyone else. Now that you have the blueprint and you know exactly how the materials work, what kind of sentences will you build today? Keep learning, keep building, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.